right, reality rappers, we are back, and it was an exciting week in reality TV. We have Big Brother stuff to talk about.
It was not because of race.
Juicy stuff for Real Housewives of New Jersey.
This is the most gangster move I've ever seen.
And we have some Real Housewives of Atlanta news because Phaedra Parks is back, baby.
Twirl on that.
So let's get into it. Shawnee, we have to start with Big Brother because it's the newest. Did you watch last night, right?
You know I'm a day behind always.
Shawnee,
tell me what happened. I mean,
first of all, I need me acting like I'm this major player. I need the Big Brother players to start acting like they're on Big Brother. That is
right.
It's like, please.
That's mostly the women. It seems like Lisa and Angela. Just super cringe.
But also, if it wasn't for Angela, we would be getting nothing. Like, I need everybody to like act like we're in a house and we're competing for $500,000. Like, this is where we start. Mackenzie, two persons got the AI power. Remember that time? Tell me why Mackenzie told anybody she has this power. Why are you telling this? Have you?
Why did any of them ever tell anyone ever? Because it always gets shared. Like, what is wrong with you?
What is wrong with Johnny? Then the other guy, I think his name is Quinn. Quinn tells Angela that he has the power, and then goes and pisses off Angela. So no, Angela is like, I'm thinking if I should put him on blast. Shawnee.
She will.
And then there was this little racism thing with Angela. I need you to watch the episode because Angela is going home is what I'm thinking. She's on the block still.
Oh, good.
And I'm reading the comments and people want her to go home. But
I mean, I'm not entirely surprised that she would say something even a little bit racist after she went after, what was it, Matt in week 1, talking about his crazy eyes and doing that whole like, I think
Look at your freaking eyes, Matt. They're like, oh.
She did that to Lisa, so she was like, why are you looking at me like that, Lisa? But no, actually, I want you to watch it because she didn't say anything racist. The topic was Angela is inside causing trouble as per usual. So there's a group sitting outside. I didn't even notice that the group were all black. I didn't even notice that it was a group, but they were sitting outside. I rewatched it today and I realized, oh, Angela actually did. So she says to Quinn, look outside. That's the group. That's all she said to Quinn. She said, look outside. That's the group. That's all she said. Now, Angela said it because she's showing him that group. She wants to be a part of that group. That's the thing. That's what she meant. Quinn, of course, is trying to cause trouble. Goes to them and tells them, you know, Angela said that's the group to watch out for. So, of course, Tikor goes to Angela and said, did you say blah, blah, blah to watch out for? Because blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And then she says, because remember in season 27 and season 25 and season 23, when, you know, all the black, Angela lost it the minute she said that because she's like, I'm not racist. But this time though, Shawnee, I am on Angela's side because she didn't mean any of that at all. She wasn't, nor did I even notice that it was a particular group of people. I feel like to throw that out there, I didn't like that. To even put that in the atmosphere, that's why I want you to watch it, to get your take, because
I'll check that out.
I'm like, why are you even saying that? This poor woman already, well, not poor, but you know, she deserves what
terrible.
She's pretty talented, right? But in this instance, she actually meant no. Angela now is in tears. She's hugging this guy. I'm not racist. And it was,
I was scheming. I was fully scheming.
Shawnee, I'm obsessed with Big Brother. Big Brother has given me everything I need. Everything I need. So when you watch that,
I'll check her out. I mean, I'm still team Angela can go home, but
yes, ma'am, please. But also keep in mind when Angela goes home, everybody else needs to start acting like they're on Big Brother. Like, we need to start playing the game because everybody, I feel like, is just too chill and naive.
Right.
Like,
I mean, like, there are ways to get the game going and there are ways that you can like maybe not get the game going though. And she That was not
Yeah.
it.
No. She's
However, I've seen quite a few people on social media, though, you know, the ones that are all mad and up in arms because Angela is a bully. They're like, are you new here? Like, is this your first season?
Yeah,
because
I
we've
saw the bully.
forgotten, like Dick Donato and oh shoot, what's his name? It's escaping me. I can see his face. The guy that went on to do the challenge. He won his season. I can't think of his name, but the guy that was banging pots and pans together. I mean, there have been so many bullies and so many mean people and just awful, awful things. I mean, Aaron Grease, you want to talk about a racist? Flipping the girl's mattress, and you know, they were terrible. So I mean, for them to call Angela out for being a bully and say she needs to go home for being a bully, in her defense, we're not new here. You know, the whole idea of playing Big Brother is to break people down and to, you know, get them off their game and to like mess up their strategy or whatever. And, you know, I don't know.
But what's annoying to me, I saw the bullying claims, but what's annoying to me is, how is a house full of 16 people allowing one woman to bully them? They have the power. They're just sitting there not saying anything. And I'm like, can y'all play the game? Like, why would we all want her out. Why are we not responding to this woman? How can one, like, it's one thing when a strong player who's winning, who has a strong alliance, is bullying somebody. But that's not the case with Angela. She's on an island by herself. So why are you sitting back and having this woman bully you? Like, you just want to be a victim now, because I'm not having Angela bully me. I'm grabbing everybody and saying, listen, guys, listen. You know, I let her know you ain't got nobody on your side.
I think part of it, and part of the reason that people like her stick around for so long, is because they're such an easy target to get out. It's almost better if you have the opportunity to go after somebody that's going to be tougher, or somebody who's going to be more of a competitor, or, you know, maybe somebody that just hasn't been so polarizing and have the whole, like, when it's time to get her out, all they have to do is say the word and everybody's
and they're out. I honestly would keep Angela in the game a little longer and have her just upset more people.
Use her to upset people, right?
She's gonna cause trouble on herself. Get out a major player, like get out one of the big dogs from early, like they did get Matt out. But like, I would keep Angela, because Angela is not winning any challenge.
She's not gonna win.
She's not. She doesn't. And even if Angela makes it to the end, which she won't, nobody's voting for this woman after how she behaved. So so she's literally no threat, and let her talk and make a fool of herself, and who cares? You know, so I would keep her in a little longer, but what do I know? I'm just a fan watching Big Brother.
That's what they were before they got cast.
Right? I guess when you're in the house, it's a whole other story.
Right. Exactly. I mean, you never know how it's going to feel till you're in there and the cameras are on you, and
suddenly you're nervous, like,
exactly.
Like, what do I do?
Exactly.
You'd be like, Ali, what are you doing? And I'm just there like a deer in the headlights, like, I don't know.
No, right.
Johnny, you want to talk about The Bachelorette next? Because I actually watched it this week.
Thank you.
And enjoyed it, by the way.
Really good this week.
It was.
I do want to talk about a couple of things. First thing, the Sams. Sams.
The Sam N and the Sam M.
Well, I saw a tweet, or an X, I guess is what we're calling it now, that basically said this was not a good week for the Sams. And I have to agree. Sam M, or Sam McKinney, started out the week with that solo date, and I think that he's finally planted some doubt in Jenn's mind, because she realized that, like, he's not really that in tune with her. He's just a really good kisser. Well, duh.
She was blinded by the kiss at first,
right? And he's not even that cute to me. So, like, what are you doing, dude? And then Sam N.
Tawny, that's the thing. You didn't kiss him, so you don't understand.
Anyway, whatever. Sam N. Such a lame.
I've never been more embarrassed.
Well, we know why.
I'm so embarrassed. But like, sir,
everybody is embarrassed for him. I wrote a whole article about how viewers are embarrassed for this man, because he literally, first of all, during the group date, the rugby group date, he decided to go like pedal to the metal and turn into like a wild man. What the heck? And then after that, interrupted Thomas, who is about to get himself kicked out because he's so obnoxious. And then had the nerve in the most like uncomfortable moment. I just came here because I want to kiss you. And she's like,
Sean,
yes.
and you know what's weird? I thought Jenn was into it. To be honest, I was surprised when he interrupted the guy right before she sent him home. I was like to myself, oh gosh, and Jenn is not even gonna know that he's such a jerk. I was shocked when Jenn said to him, listen, I'm not feeling this, you gotta go. I was like, what?
Right? Oh, I loved it. I loved it. I feel like he tried to play that like
I'm so macho.
He's not a confident guy.
He's just pretending.
He tried to like pretend that confidence, and like I feel like when men try to pretend that they're confident, it's not only is it more
cringe,
super cringe, but like I don't know, just everything about it was just so awkward. And I was just, when she said, "But you gotta go," I was just like,
right. But I was like, Jenn is very intuitive because I was so pleasantly surprised. Shawnee, when this man walked in his leather jacket and his trophy, and then put the trophy on the chair, and the guy wanted to sit, and he's like, no, it's for the. I was like, all right, sir. I was so Shawnee, I was looking like this. I had secondhand embarrassment. Then he strutted up the stairs and was like, can I talk to you? I was like, what's wrong, weirdo?
Corny is what he is. He's just corny.
Trying way too hard. And if it was me, I would be like, no, you cannot talk to me. I'm having a conversation. But I guess Jenn.
I think she was happy though to get interrupted because I think Thomas also annoys the life out of her. Gotcha. So not only did she get interrupted, she got out of the Thomas conversation and she got to tell Sam to go home. I mean,
gotcha. Shawnee, when this man went home, I was dying. I'm like, after the way you just behave, and then this is how it ends. You didn't even get up. You didn't even get one more episode, sir.
Not a lot of people have the pleasure of being the only person sent home in an entire episode. He's like in an elite club of like super cringe.
I'm picturing this lunatic in his leather jacket coming in. I'm just like, stop. Shawnee.
I think we're starting to see the beginning of the Devin, like his people are starting to turn and like him, especially after the solo date when they did the
Devin?
celebration. Devin is the dark-haired guy that went on the second solo date, the tall one.
Okay, I don't remember him.
They did the celebration, the New Zealand solo date.
I watched the date, but I just don't know him.
They talked about their families and how they grew up and all the moves
I remember everything about the date except his face. I'm not seeing his face. But I think
everybody's comparing to Pete Davidson and like I can see it, but like no, they kind of now you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's a comparison. It's like a bigger, beefier Pete Davidson. I like him. I think he's cute.
Okay, yeah, I do remember that date. You know what? I was online and Sam M's family is just defending him online. Did I send that link to you? Did you see that? I saw
it, but I saw it.
Oh, I thought you did a story. Did you do a story on it? It's like the dad was in the comments talking about editing and the sister was in the comments and then he did a video and I'm like, but I haven't really.
But he's hating on him, really.
That's what I was saying in my mind.
Oh, you know what? Maybe about the girlfriend stuff because remember, like he's talking about how he was cheated on, all that stuff. It turns out he's a little bit of a player.
Oh, because
I mean, who isn't? You know, who isn't?
Gotcha. No, they were defending him hard, and I was like to myself, no, but what they said was. You know, what you're seeing on screen is not the true representation of Sam M. And I'm like, but we haven't seen anything yet. So I said, let me ask Shawnee.
Yeah, there's not really been anything on there to make people not like him.
So I was like, I must be missing something. But I don't know.
Maybe it's coming because he.
Yeah.
I'm not going to spoil it. But maybe it's coming.
Yeah. I was like, what am I missing?
No.
Okay. So the ending of The Bachelorette now, where the ex-boyfriend comes in. How are we feeling about this?
Do you really think that this wasn't scripted, planned, and
a producer called him and said, yes, please come start?
I don't think he paid for his own ticket out there to get dumped. Come on now.
No, a producer called him and said, we got a spot. I feel like Shawnee, I feel like they weren't like the producers weren't getting enough drama and they called him in, is how I feel.
I agree.
Because why are you on TV telling me this when we were just together and you were
You could do this for the last several years.
Like, why are we on camera talking about
and not only that, but she was just on The Bachelor. So if now all of a sudden he feels like he wants to get together, call me. Don't come on TV. Come on now.
Like
I don't believe it.
I know, but is this the first time? No, but I think we've seen like an ex come on, but they were sent home. But it seems like he's a part of the show now, which is shocking to me. Has this ever happened?
I don't think that he's going to continue on, honestly. I think that because we didn't see the rose ceremony and we didn't really see the end of it.
But remember, the guys said, like there's a clip of the guys talking to Jenn and saying it's not fair that he gets to compete with the rest of us when he had his chance. That was in the teaser. So like, unless they're just making it seem
I guess we're gonna have to wait and see based on spoilers. I don't want to spoil too much, but based on spoilers, he doesn't really pop up in them at all.
Oh, further down. Oh, okay, gotcha. So maybe it's just the next
episode. I think that it's gonna be like she tells them about it and they object, and then that's the end of it. I don't know. We haven't seen the rose ceremony. Maybe he doesn't get a rose. I don't know.
Gotcha. Because I was thinking, wow, has this ever happened where they allow him to join? Because Jenn already looked very skeptical. So I'm like, I know he's on. Okay, I think it's probably just creative editing.
Well, you know, as many times as she said out loud that this is not the toxic ex that she talks about. This is not the guy that did all the things to her. I've seen people chattering and like kind of laughing like this wasn't like, is this guy even like a real boyfriend? Was this like a situationship, a hookup? Because it doesn't seem like they, you know, like there just doesn't seem, she doesn't even seem really all that emotional about it. She's just like, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
you know?
she seems, it's like one of your friends, you see your friend do something, you'd be like, what are you doing?
Give me a second.
Like, why are you doing,
like, why are you here?
Doing this? She wasn't flattered. She wasn't impressed. She wasn't overly anything. She was just bland. Like,
blew all the way for me. No.
She wasn't like, wow, a declaration of love from. She was just like, what are you doing?
Right. What are we doing? And that's part of the reason too that I kind of feel like it feels
staged, forced.
Yeah, not genuine at all.
Produced. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I wouldn't put it past them. So there you go.
Shawnee, another show that I'm telling you, I love TV. This week, TV gave me everything I needed and more. Because Real Housewives of New Jersey, this is probably my favorite episode of the season.
That was
12 was.
Okay, first let me say I have never, ever been a fan of Margaret ever.
Same, not really, same, yeah.
I have goosebumps just thinking about the funeral flowers. That was the most iconic, epic takedown ever. And the thing is like everybody's talking about like, oh, it wasn't that big of a deal, blah blah blah. No,
the Teresa
flowers is freaking hilarious.
This is the most gangster move I've ever seen in my whole existence of life. But keep your together, Danielle. Brilliant.
That is so smart and witty. This is the type.
And the thing is like the thing that I'm learning about Marge that I never really I guess I never really cared before.
Yeah.
She is very smart, very
strategic and smart. Yes.
Very strategic, right. She is witty and she does have a hilarious, really, really mean sense of humor.
Yes, she has a dark.
And Teresa deserved every bit of it. And the timing of it to have this delivered when she knew all of those girls would be there talking a bunch of crap about her was like chef's kiss. It was the best. Shadiest. I mean, she could have been at home crying because all the women were talking about her and she knew about it and she wasn't even invited to defend herself. Instead, she sends funeral flowers. Freaking hilarious. Everything
about this from start to finish was perfection. The timing was absolute perfection. When I saw that funeral wreath, I was like, what? And then the card said, where the loss of your dignity? Shawnee. Everything. This is the type of housewives pettiness that we used to love back in the day.
Yes. Well, not just that, but Teresa never had any dignity in her life. So
this is what we mean when we say we want drama. This is the type of drama we want. Yes. And you know the funniest part?
Yes.
Shawnee, the funniest part is that Teresa probably doesn't even understand what the hell is happening. Teresa doesn't know. She has not put it together to be like funeral flowers, loss of our dignity. I'm sure somebody has.
Because she's over there like, well, we had a good comeback too, but Bravo cut it. Well,
Teresa, this is what annoys me about sparring with people who are not smart, is because when I give you my best, you don't get it. It falls flat because you don't realize how epic that was.
I love it because she's gotten caught and she doesn't know what to do. She's spinning right now.
Okay, I got it.
Right. Well, I mean, she doesn't realize how epic it was, but everybody watching did. Like,
Danielle,
like we can't stop talking about it. Like,
and when they cut to Danielle's confessional, and Angelica was like, "That is the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life."
Right? She's like, "Don't laugh."
Shawnee, when I tell you, I was laughing, like I laughed out loud.
I would have died. I am at the point now where I feel like if they're gonna reboot, revamp, whatever, because apparently Andy has now backtracked. It's not technically.
I saw that.
Thanks, Andy. Get me excited. I think that they would be absolutely wrong to cut Margaret. They need to build the show around her.
Bring her back.
Get Teresa out and build the show around Margaret. That was so good.
Listen, and if this is Margaret's last season, Homegirl went out with a bang.
Big bang.
Homegirl went out with a bang. Like, we're gonna I need those funeral wreaths in the clubhouse stat.
Yeah, they really
funny.
You know what? That's funny. They really should put it in the clubhouse. That is
stunning. Somebody needs to, like, you know, put it, like, make it so it doesn't fade away, because I'm sure it's real flowers. Like, we need to get it, put it in the clubhouse ASAP.
Yeah, that was
Johnny.
I don't know how they could beat, like, the finale still hasn't happened. How are they gonna do this?
They're not. So I'm reading today, which I don't believe a word of it, that Teresa is gonna have the last laugh at Marge.
I saw that. She said she's gonna have whatever.
Johnny, I was like, yeah, sure. She thought she had the last laugh at this meeting. By the way, you know, she thinks this meeting went well, except when she read the comments and people were like, huh, what? That was lame. You know, outside of her reading the comments, she thought she dropped a bomb. You know, she thought she killed it. I'm just like, what is the bomb and why is your lawyer there?
We all know that Teresa's not exceptionally bright. Something else from that episode really kind of like made me laugh too. When they had Louis film that whole "I love you" message for Teresa, was that not the cringiest thing ever? Because I just, every time he opens his mouth, I'm just like, ugh. But that was like, why, Louis? Like, what do you have to prove by doing that on air? Or is this just like you can't come up with something else? Like, I don't know. He annoys me. Like, everything about him annoys me. You know who he looks like to me? He looks like Butthead from Beavis and Butthead. And I can't, every time I look at him, that's all I see. And I just can't get it out of my head. I just,
Testing 1 2.
Annie, Louis is so fake and pretentious. Every time Louis speaks, it's just like, okay, it's this. Coach, it's this.
I feel like Louis just wanted to be on TV. He loves Teresa because she's on TV.
He loves the cameras, and nobody will ever convince me that when these two people met, he didn't know who she was. You will never convince me that this man did not know she was Teresa Giudice. You will never convince me. Then I was listening to a recent interview when she was talking about it again, about them meeting again. She was talking to Kelly, and she was like, yeah, you know, she always says they didn't know they met on the street, whatever. Then this time she adds in, he knew some of the other, like he'd watched some of the other housewives. But
yeah,
watch Jersey.
Hadn't he previously tried to like hook up with somebody from
Alexis from Miami? Yeah.
Right. Like, no.
Johnny, this man said he knew exactly what he was doing.
There's no way that he was trying to hook up with a Real Housewives of Miami star and didn't know who Teresa Giudice was. The most famous Real Housewives star of probably ever.
Shawnee, but my son had to tell me, was like, my son is like, you know who that is? Like, no, you knew who that was. Louis.
That was.
Shawnee, that scene was so cringe. I looked away. I was like this, then I looked up, and Lou was like, hi, baby. It's your
nice story, bro. Right.
I love you, sweetheart. Thank you. Bye.
You know what was so funny? Was Dolores' boyfriend was dying with laughter. You know when you're in church and you're trying not to laugh, and that's when you can't stop? I looked at this man's face and he was about to burst. He was trying to hold in the laugh.
Yeah.
Johnny, Why is he so cringe? Why?
I mean, he's Teresa's husband. They're both cringe.
They really are meant for each other. These two are just,
They're the same. Exactly the same.
they're just so, I mean, oh gosh. I hope they stay together because
Nobody else
honestly,
want either one of them.
right? Like, I don't know what we're gonna do if you two split up and Louis is gonna go find somebody. Like, just stay together, please.
Right?
You
Please
do
do us all a favor.
us all a favor. Do you think Teresa is gonna get a spin-off show?
If she doesn't come back on Real Housewives of New Jersey, I think, yeah, I do. I think that they would try to spin off with her and Gia and the rest of, I mean, Louis loves the camera. The rest of the kids will do it. Yeah, heck yeah.
I would want her
show
to
you
get,
guys on that and show like when the girls go to visit him and stuff. Like, yeah.
I would want Teresa to get a spin-off so that her Trey Stumps can just be over there and leave the rest of us alone watching Real Housewives of New Jersey.
I
Honestly,
think that would be great.
just give her own, let her and her Trey Stumps, because they're just so vile. I cannot.
Speaking of the Trey Stumps,
Yeah.
you saw the comment we got about leave Teresa alone.
Did we?
We're not going to leave her alone.
Like,
We're not
honestly,
going to leave her.
no, Trey Stump, no. By the way, the reason why people are annoyed at Teresa is because of you, Trey Stumps. Like, y'all are vile. Like, we would love her and find her funny if it wasn't for the nastiness
We would
outside.
not love her. But we might find her funny.
Well, you know, I'm trying to be nice.
Before we run out of town, though, we got to switch to Atlanta. We have to talk about this. We have to talk about this.
Finally, some Atlanta news. Phaedra Parks is back on the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
The ultimate Southern Belle. I get what I want.
I saw a scene of them today filming like on a cast trip with Portia and Shamea and Cynthia. How are you feeling?
Yeah, okay.
How are you feeling about
Like
it?
OG Housewives minus Nene. I like this.
Yeah.
Minus Nene and Kenya, which honestly, I'm not mad at that. I think that bringing Phaedra back is the best move they could have possibly made in order to move
At this
Atlanta.
point, they're desperate. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I did read that prior to jumping to Atlanta that Phaedra may have quit Married to Medicine, which I think is a smart move.
Yeah.
I also think it may have been because apparently they had a cast party or a cast something, and Apollo and his wife were invited. And that's what set Phaedra off, and that's why Phaedra quit the show or whatever.
Okay.
Personally, I think that if that's what happened, it was absolutely produced in order to set up a scenario to where Phaedra could jump shows. Personally.
Okay.
That's what
Gotcha.
I think it's an excellent way to do it. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just not like, oh, Phaedra was like, screw you guys, I'm gonna go get my peach back.
Yeah. I don't think Phaedra was a good fit on Married to Medicine, to be honest. I feel like they were just trying to plop her in there.
Right, trying to give her a place. Right.
Yeah, and Married to Medicine doesn't do well in terms of ratings. It's a solid show. But it's not bringing in the ratings. So I think they put her in to kind of stir things up, but I don't think she's a good fit. I don't think she's naturally friends with these women.
I don't think that
I just, so she
it's a solid show, but I never enjoyed it.
I enjoy it immensely. Like, I really enjoy Married to Medicine a lot. Like, if it's on, I will always watch it. It's solid, but do you want to talk about Real Housewives of Orange County? Did we talk about it last week? I don't think we did.
We talked a little bit about the Shannon and Alexis stuff, and that was about it.
Okay. All I'm saying is, Sean,
has anything else happened, or is it just still Shannon versus Alexis?
which is my problem. I do not need to watch an entire season of Alexis talking about John Jansen. I don't need one more episode of it, honestly.
I mean, one thing that we can talk about is her recent claim that John offered to pay her whole Real Housewives of Orange County salary if she would just not film.
Lies. I don't believe it for a second.
I don't believe it for a second.
Unless, Shawnee, you're getting, maybe she's getting $1,000 per episode. Then maybe.
Maybe she thought she earned more ultimately from being on the show. I don't know. But if you're going to get me my whole salary to not have to do any of that mess, heck yeah, hand it over. Let's go.
I don't think
her to get on the show. Like, come on now.
But also, remember, Alexis was gonna come on for $0. I don't think they would have had to offer her a lot of money to come back on because I think she wanted to come on. So I don't think she's getting a big paycheck. So so that could be. But I don't think John doesn't want her. He literally trolls the place where all the housewives hang out looking for a replacement. So clearly you like the attention.
He likes that. Yeah. Like that guy.
So are we pretending like, no, we don't believe that for a second? Like, sure.
No.
Wink, wink. Sure he did.
Right.
And does John have money like that? Because isn't he like wanting back money from Shannon for some?
He is suing her
surgery. For
$75,000 for surgeries that he paid for. He says it was a loan. She says it was a gift. I mean, Judge Judy says if you don't have it in writing, it was a gift. So
it was a gift. Sorry.
I think ultimately she's gonna win on that. I want to know because one of them was like, what was it, like 30 grand? Or I might have my numbers off because I didn't talk about this. It was like in the tens of thousands of dollars for a facelift, and all I want to know is who is paying tens of thousands of dollars for a facelift? What is wrong with you?
By the way, Shannon looks amazing.
She looks great, but she doesn't look that much different than she ever did.
No, she just looked like she lost weight.
Beautiful.
Like she stopped drinking. She's always been stunning. She just was, I think she was drinking a lot and depressed, and the relationship with John. And so she looked, stressed. Now I'm glad that she looks amazing while facing off with Alexis. Because I think Alexis thought she was going to come in and be like, Shannon has never looked better. I was like, oh my God, look at stunning. Love everything about Shannon. She looks beautiful.
See, we could look stunning too if we had a boyfriend to pay out $75,000.
Right, like how do I?
Cosmetic procedure.
I could do a lift or something.
Right? A lift and tuck.
I can figure it out.
You can have a lot of surgery done with 75 grand. What is she doing?
Yeah, but that's a lot. Isn't that surgery like 10 grand? I mean, because people are doing
facelift. I don't think it's that much. I don't know. I would never have mine done in Beverly Hills.
I don't think she did one. Oh, so could be the location, could be one thing. But it's not one thing she had done, though, is a thing. It was more than one. So I guess it added up. It wasn't
How many facelifts does she need?
No, meaning it was facelift and other things.
Right. Well, but the initial report was like, it was like 30 grand for a facelift and then something more for another surgery.
Yeah.
I don't know. For 75 grand, she better have had every piece of her body worked on. Like,
but I assumed surgery was that expensive. I assumed it was. I didn't like it. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, I just assumed. Oh, okay, that's the price.
You can get boobs and a tummy tuck for under 10 grand. Like,
stop it! What?
It's not that expensive.
But then why are people going to like Turkey and Mexico to get butchered if it's that?
They can get them for like 1,500.
Oh my gosh! If you're offering me that, I immediately red flag.
Right. It's insanely cheaper to go out of the country.
I thought going out of the country would be the 10 grand amount, and it was more in the US.
No.
Oh, well, that would explain why literally every single person is doing surgery.
Right.
Yeah,
and
like
all of the 90 Day Fiancé cast, all of them.
Yeah.
Literally all of them. We just put out a list of all the men that had it done because there's literally seven that we counted, and there's probably more. Have had surgery. Have you seen Scott Wern lately? Like, he had his whole face done. Does
he look different? I saw that
he's still really puffy, but I think that ultimately when he's done, he's gonna look a lot different.
I have a question. So where is Scott that recently said he was living in his car getting money for storage?
If I had to guess, and based on the amount of posts that he's made about it, I think that this was probably one of these, if we do it, you post all the, every day about it.
Okay. So it's a paid partnership sort of thing.
Like everybody freaking else. Yes. I mean, look at some of even 90 Day Fiancé cast make jokes about all the women and their lips and their cheeks and